Welcome to the Daughter Dearest Podcast with Simone and Olivia Knego, making the world a better place one conversation at a time. Mom Simone and daughter Olivia share authentic discussions about everything under the sun, including those things you might be thinking about but feel uncomfortable talking about. Thanks for tuning in. Now here are your hosts, Simone and Olivia.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Daughter Dearest Podcast. I'm Simone Knego.
And I'm Olivia Knego.
And today we are going to be talking about self-love, self-care, self-love, and overcoming self-doubt. I think it's something that every woman struggles with.
I would say maybe even every person.
Yeah, I would say every person. Studies have shown that it's like 80% of all women struggle with self-doubt, and actually 80% of all people, 85% in that range. But the interesting thing is that I think a lot of people would deny it or they would also say, this isn't really self-doubt, this is just this, right?
Yeah.
But I think that it is such a huge problem, and we should be able to make it better for people instead of making them feel worse about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just like hard. My friend, we were making a joke yesterday. I don't even know what came up, and it was just like something about liking yourself. And I was like, I don't like myself. I'm a 21-year-old living in New York City. Like, does anybody like themselves right now?
Well, let's hope so. I mean, that makes me sad that you don't like yourself.
But it's just like, oh, Mom, you just don't get the vibe.
I get the vibe.
The vibe is, it's just like, I don't know, with the way that society is, it's just kind of like how you're supposed to feel.
Well, how do we break that then? Because, as you get older, you definitely don't want to feel like that. I
don't know, Mom, you're supposed to be teaching me this.
Well, I know I am. But do you do positive affirmations?
No.
You might think they're funny, but they really work. And actually, it's backed by research. There's a ton of research out about it that when you, and this is a whole conversation we're going to have, but when you talk yourself up, when you say nice things about yourself to yourself, and you do it regularly, daily, multiple times daily, it actually changes something in your brain. Like they've done scans and stuff to show like, okay, there's increased brainwaves here, and it really starts changing the way people see themselves. And just like anything, I mean, do you know how many days it takes to kind of get in the routine to build a habit?
Isn't it like 30 or is it 90?
No, it's like 66 days to get in.
Oh, well, I guess I was very
for
off.
a habit. I mean, that's what some people
Somewhere
say,
in between.
days. Right. But when you think about it, so I've had people say to me, well, I don't do positive affirmations because I tried it once, it didn't work for me. I'm like, okay, well, did you go to the gym once too and, build one big muscle? Hello, no, you did not.
Yeah.
So it's like anything else. I mean, I take vitamins for my hair growth. You know how long it takes to see results? People see results within 3 months, but the full results, 9 months. I mean, I'm going to keep taking these vitamins for 9 months, right?
I mean, I get it, but it's just, we want change very fast. No one wants to experience change slowly.
Right, but that's like how our society pushes it, but that's not reality. I mean, you don't want it that way, but that's the way it is. It takes time to get anything, right? Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, I know. But it's just kind of hard to view it like that when you're a kid, I guess. Or a young adult, if you will.
Yeah, definitely it is. And even as an adult, it's hard because you think, and certain things are even harder as you get older, which are, trying to keep yourself in shape, not being forgetful, those kinds of things. Like you really have to work so much harder at certain things compared to when you were younger.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So let's talk about my real method for a second.
Yeah, please.
because I like to say, ladies, let's get real. So I truly believe that self-doubt is something that just really blocks us in all aspects of our lives, at work, in our relationships, at home, just everything you can think of. If we doubt ourselves, it's very hard to move forward.
Yeah.
If we doubt ourselves, how do we expect other people to believe in us, right? If we're not showing up in a way that we feel positive about ourselves, how do we expect other people to feel positive about us? So the different parts of the real method, it's obviously based on REAL. And the first one is respect your reflection, embrace your failures, ask yourself what you want, and love the woman in the mirror. So I think we'll just talk about the first one, respect your reflection, because I think so much of what happens to us is, I mean, think about it. When we start our day, I mean, I'm old, so I have to go to the bathroom first, but basically you go into the bathroom and you see yourself in the mirror. And if we're not talking kindly to ourselves, or we're not seeing all of the good things about ourselves in that moment, and we go negative, guess where our day goes? Negative.
Drain, yeah.
Right? So I believe that using positive affirmations every day really helps with that. And I have a set of them that I like, but I think any kind of positive affirmation can really help someone. But you have to do it consistently. It's like any kind of practice.
Yeah.
You know, you don't take a Spanish lesson for one time and say, I'm fluent. You don't take it for 2 weeks and you're not fluent. So everything takes work, but you got to be willing to put in the work. And we put in the work for so many other things, right? But why is it that we don't want to put in the work on respecting ourselves, respecting our reflection? What do you think?
I don't know. It's just because it seems like it'd be easier to change yourself than change your mindset.
Sure, but when you change your mindset, you are also changing yourself. So I'm not saying that you have to love everything about yourself. If you hate something about yourself, change it. But I'm saying that when we look in the mirror, we see all of the negative things instead of seeing the positive things. And there are a lot of people that will tell you that there's nothing positive about them. And I challenge them. That's not even possible. Like, everybody has amazing qualities, and we just need to take the time to remind ourselves of it. And yeah, it's easier to change something about yourself, but I don't know how much good that does.
Look, but that's just like, I think that's the way that society kind of pressures you. It is to like change what you perceive as flaws rather than you changing the way that you perceive yourself. It's just kind of the thing you're pressured into, honestly.
Well, I think there's a difference between being pressured into it or changing something for yourself. Right? I mean, if there's something that you absolutely don't like, fix it. If you don't like your relationship, fix it.
Yeah. But like when it comes to like, I don't know, like dieting or weight loss, like that's a societal thing to some extent. I mean, it's also a personal thing, but it's like we're not taught to like love our bodies. We're taught to change our bodies into something we love.
You're right. But I think that you can love your body. I mean, I've learned to love my body, and I have all kinds of stretch marks and lumps and bumps, and that's just how I am.
Yeah.
But there are things that I've changed about myself. But I am quite happy with how my body is at this age. I mean, I'm never going to be the person wearing a bikini, but I don't care about that. And it's not that I wouldn't wear a bikini because I don't feel comfortable in it. I just don't like bikinis. So
Okay.
there you have it.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like I don't know, you're full of wisdom, Mom. I'm not there yet in life.
To start practicing.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, why not? When you brush your teeth, use some
Yeah.
affirmations. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am capable. I am more than enough. It really does work.
I
Try
know.
it. Try it. Try it for 66 days.
Okay. That's
And
an oddly
let's
specific amount.
I know. Well, I'm just okay, try it for 60 days. Try it for 2 months.
I will, no, Mom, I will commit to the whole habit creating. I'll do
Okay.
it for 60 days.
And you don't have to, obviously the more times you do it a day, but you want to look at yourself in the mirror and you want to say it out loud.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you do on what does your morning routine look like then?
So my morning routine is I get up, go to the bathroom, and I have changed it up a bit in terms of what affirmations I use. It kind of is depending on what I have coming up in my life that
Uh-huh.
might be stressing me out. But I usually do the 5 I's, like I am smart, I am what I said before, I am capable, I am beautiful, I am happy, I am more than enough. Like these things, and I want you to think about it for a second because do you remember, and this is like the opposite direction of this, but think about cults. Do you remember Elizabeth Smart? She was the girl who was kidnapped from her family's home in Utah. I forget how
No.
long she was gone for, but anyways, so she was taken. The guy had been someone working in the house, and he came in the middle of the night and took her. And I believe he told her that if because she had other siblings in the room, and if she screamed or anything, that he would kill the siblings. So she went with him, and she was gone for a long, long time, a couple of years probably.
Jesus.
And one day, a woman spotted her walking through this town, and went, called the police. And when they came, she said that she wasn't Elizabeth Smart. I don't remember exactly the story, so I don't want to like
Yeah.
say it incorrectly, but basically they had brainwashed her into believing something else.
Mhm.
So, and when you look at cults and they brainwash you into believing certain things, or you look at society in general,
Yeah.
and they follow these ideas that are totally irrational. I think you can put the same thing into play with positivity. If you say, and I'm not saying you're brainwashing yourself, but you're a little bit. I mean, you're saying these things over and over again until you absolutely believe them. So if it works in a negative way, why wouldn't it work in a positive way?
I mean, yeah. Like, yeah, I know you're right. It's just like a hard commitment, I guess. It's hard to really like put your mind to it and like keep up with it, I guess, and maintain it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's much easier to tell other people
Yeah,
their great qualities,
I
but nobody said
agree.
it's going to be easy. But it's much easier to say to someone else that you're beautiful or you're kind.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Of course it's easier.
Right.
It's,
So just like anything, if you want results, you got to do the work.
yeah.
So tell me why you're struggling right now,
I don't know. It's just like
other than
a
other than living in New York City at 21.
hard time of year, I guess. And just in general, just like I don't know, the winter time, the holidays, like the weight gain from the holidays, and then you have like summer approaching, and it's in a turbulent time of my life as well, so it's like really, I don't know, really hard to like make time to like truly reflect on myself, I would say, and like be with me. I don't know. I'm not having a lot of time for myself.
Well, that's partly because you're working for me,
I mean,
but
that's not really that much of my time.
okay, good to know. So that's
No,
good.
but I'm balancing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of other things going on as well.
But you make time for all those other things, make time for yourself. I mean, you're crocheting, right? So that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, of course. I'm always
Yeah.
crocheting.
Okay. So, I mean, that is self-care right there.
Yeah. But it's just like the idea of self-love, I guess, is hard right now because I just feel like I'm at a very different part of my life than I expected, and then like that of my peers, because it's like everyone is finishing up and getting ready to go in the real world. And like I know mine's a big step and it's something that should be celebrated, but it doesn't feel as legit because I'm going to school for 3 more years.
And you are lucky to be doing that because ask your brother. He was so gung ho to get out into the real world. And you know what? Work life, it's tough.
I mean, yeah, but having like the independent aspect and like being able to, I don't know, provide for yourself, that's kind of definitely something I'm interested in. I don't know, like just being financially independent, but also just like, I don't know, just independent in general. I just feel like I'm not there.
Well, you're pretty independent. You just financially you're not yet, but you're in school and you do
Yeah.
work, so you make some money.
I mean, yeah, duh. I know. It just feels weird,
Well,
I guess.
thanks.
Like, I don't know. I think that like certain times of year, it's definitely easier to love yourself. Like, I don't know. It's definitely, but it's also definitely easier to love yourself when things are going right. And things are going right in my life, obviously. Like, I'm doing well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I completely understand that it's hard. And I know we've talked about seasonal depression before, and obviously the weather hasn't been great there, so that's hard.
Yeah.
But I think in general, you are going into a different season of your life, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I was married at your age.
Oh, that's so crazy, Mom. That's
Yeah.
actually so crazy. I can't believe you did that.
I know I got married at 21, 3 weeks after my 21st birthday. So you would already have been married for 2 months,
Can you
month and a
picture
half.
me married right now?
No, I can't imagine you married. I can't imagine any of my kids married. Although Jacob, I could imagine married, but not at 21. I got
Yeah.
lucky. I mean, I really did. The fact that I've been married almost 31 years and your dad and I still love each other and enjoy each other's company.
Most
Yeah,
days.
that's pretty lucky. Most days. Okay. You know what? Again, you
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
no, it's real. There's you you're not happy with every person all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, of course not.
I mean, I get frustrated with you.
I don't know how
I
you could
still
be. I'm
love you.
amazing.
Oh yeah, I know you're amazing, but I get frustrated with all of you kids. There's always something that likes to trigger me, but doesn't make me love you any less, right? It's just like a
Yeah.
momentary thing of like, oh gosh. So self-care routines. What do you do right now?
I work out. I haven't worked out this week at all, but I have tried to make an effort of putting on real clothes every single day of the semester. Has not been successful, but I am like changing at least every single day
That's good.
from like PJs to loungewear. Um, I guess what else do I do?
I mean, the fitness thing I think is important for you. I mean, you were traveling this week, so it makes sense why you weren't able to, but I think for a lot of people, fitness is a really big part of their
Yeah.
self-care routine.
Yeah, it's definitely something that like makes me feel better emotionally and just like I don't know, it makes me feel better in my body and I feel stronger. And I don't know, I think one of the biggest things is for me right now is I have so much free time, so it's just like another thing that's in my free time. But it doesn't really feel like self-love for me. It kind of feels like a task, like a chore.
Well, change your mindset on it,
Well, that's easier said than done.
right? Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Something that you're doing for yourself. If you want to talk about health and well-being, doing something for yourself like that is self-care. And sometimes it does feel like a chore. Sometimes everything we do feels like a chore.
Mm-hmm. I know.
But you don't get better at anything if you don't work at it.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like I'm
It's
lecturing
just,
you today.
well, maybe you are. Maybe that was the goal of this, to slap some sense into me.
Well, I just think it's really important that we each focus on what we bring to the world.
Yeah.
And when I talk about embracing our failures, there's not one person that, I mean, I fail on a daily basis. Like there's things that I mess up, but if I hyper focused on that, I would never move forward.
Yeah. So,
But really for me, the two parts of self-care that have been very effective, because I'm kind of on and off with working out. I'm going to try to get back into it again. And you're right, that feels like a chore, but I don't know. I think like when I did yoga and stuff and Pilates, that really didn't feel like a chore. That felt
mhm.
like it was something I was doing good for my body. Now, when I when I'm lifting weights, that feels like a chore because it's heavy. It's exhausting,
Yeah.
but it's still good for me. But I think the two biggest parts of my self-care routine that I think I really enjoy are morning affirmations and evening gratitudes. Because I think that you can always find something at the end of the day that you're thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
Could be something really little. Could be the barista at Starbucks was really nice to you. I mean, whatever it is,
Yeah.
there's always something to be thankful for. So when your day goes to shit and you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get through this day and nothing's going right and I'm miserable and completely unhappy. And then at the end of the day, you remind yourself, okay, through all the crap that happened today, this one thing, something really good still happened, even if it's something little. And I think that really helps to be able to move forward.
Yeah, I
I mean,
guess. I'm contemplating like all of
okay.
the good things that do happen in my day. And a lot of good things happen in my like days. Like I'm really grateful for like a lot of the stuff I do. And I get to like hang out with my friends on a very, very regular basis, which is like definitely a gift and an opportunity not a lot of people get. And I don't know, like I do things that I definitely enjoy. It just feels kind of hard to live in the moment sometimes. I'm looking forward so much to the future, but also there's such a pressure about the future. So funny, this is what Ari and I are working on in his essay right now.
Is it a self-imposed pressure?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like anyone's out here imposing it on me.
Right. So I think, if you're prepared and you do your work, then you got to take a step back and say that, why am I putting so much pressure on myself?
Yeah.
And I know all of this is easier said than done, but just like any routine, if you keep doing things, we talked about this a while ago, and I don't know if you ever started it, but we talked about getting like a jar and writing down when you had a really good moment. So when you're having a really crappy moment, you pull something out of that jar to remind yourself, oh, yeah, that was a cool time. That was something really fun. That was something really great. Because in
I
the
need a
moment, we
jar.
need,
I
I'll
have
get you a
jars, I'm
jar.
kidding.
I'll
But I'll
get you
make
a jar.
myself a jar. Yeah, I guess I should do that. I don't know. That's definitely a good tactic to remember.
Yeah, pick something. I mean, I would love for you to try the positive affirmations for 2 months.
Okay, I'll report back.
Okay. I also, for those of you who are listening, in our show notes, there's a link to a downloadable, beautiful PDF of some of my favorite positive affirmations that you can hang on your mirror and use them every day. Or you can do something very simple like the 5 I's. Just, I am whatever you want. I am
Yeah.
smart. I am capable. I am beautiful. And do 5 things, do them 5 times, and then it takes like less than a minute, 57 seconds it will take you to do that. And when you build a routine, it helps your brain. And I can use as much brain help as I can get.
You're funny.
I was someone that struggled with self-doubt most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that these kind of practices really help you move forward. And if you would have asked me at your age, I would have laughed for sure. So I appreciate you not laughing. But I would have been like, I'm not trying that. That's like stupid. That doesn't
Yeah.
work. Okay. But again, research shows it does work. And what's it going to hurt? Right. If
Mm-hmm.
it takes you 57 seconds a day, do the math. How many seconds do we have in a day? I don't really know. I gotta bring on my calculator for that one. But it's not going to take you any amount of time to do it. And it can make a real difference.
Yeah. I know you're right. It's just the commitment of it all.
Hmm. Well, we do commit to all kinds of things. Obviously, you just committed to law school. Woohoo.
I know. How exciting.
That is very exciting. Where are you going?
I'm going to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee.
I think that's very exciting. I like
I'm very
Nashville.
excited.
I'm excited to visit you there because I like Nashville.
Thanks, Mom.
Not that I don't like you, but
Oh,
you know,
okay. I'm glad that you fixed your statement there.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you have a lot coming up that are stressful life changes, but they're really good life changes. And I get what you're saying about not jumping out into the world and working right away when all your friends are doing that. But who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're not doing anything. And even if you were traveling for a year, right? That's great too.
Yeah. I mean, it's all great. It's just, I feel like the odd man out a little bit.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be great
What?
moving out of that apartment.
I was just talking to my therapist about this morning. How
And what did she
horrible it's
say?
going to be. She was like, "Why are you thinking about this now?" And I was like, "Because I have so much stuff."
So you should start.
I know, but that's another thing.
Mhm.
I need to make time for it.
Well, again, we make time for the things that we like to do. The things that we absolutely have to do, like in
Yeah.
the moment, like exactly like when I make my list of things that I have to do, I put everything on there, but I only do the things that are like necessary right now, and everything else just kind of sits there. So that's one of those things that sits there, and then you're like, oh, this is stressful.
Yeah, that's gonna sit there because that's like
And
not that important to my current. But
yeah,
wow, yeah, moving out of this tiny apartment, I got so much stuff.
yeah. Well, when we're up there for graduation, we can bring a couple bags back with us,
Yeah.
and then you can get rid of a lot of it. A lot of it
No,
is
yeah, for sure. That's definitely
stuff
like
that you need.
a big plan is to get rid of a lot of stuff, but it's just like memories of moving on.
Yeah.
That's why I guess like the internet is so great. I just have so many photos.
Makes it so much better. So here's something funny. Last night for Valentine's Day, we Emma wanted champagne, so we opened up this half bottle that we had from a tasting we did years ago. And I was keeping it because the winemaker signed it.
Hey, you literally opened that?
Yeah, and you know what it was?
What?
Skunk. It was nasty. It smelled horrible. We had to pour it out. So
Yeah, because you
much
let
better to
it
take a
sit.
picture of it. Much better to take a picture of it,
Yeah,
have the
and
memory, and not keep the crap around.
you could have also just kept the bottle.
Yeah, but what do I need the bottle for? Just to remind me?
Say that to like the other bottles that you have sitting on your wall.
Yeah, I'm really starting to pare down. So this is another self-care thing is getting rid of crap. I went into this cabinet yesterday looking for sunglasses for your dad, and we had like 30 old glasses cases. Like,
Damn,
what?
that's pretty intense.
And it was in a cabinet, so I didn't even know it was there. And I was like, okay, we could get rid of that. Ooh, that feels good to get rid of that. So sometimes like getting rid of the old stuff, and I tend to be like a bit of a hoarder. So
Yeah, you and
I'm
your
really
mom.
trying. Well, she's much worse than me. She's like waiting for when you come back because you need to go through the paintings and pick what you want.
She texted me. I need to text her back.
She has them all like in one location now, and she's ready for you to
pick what I want.
pick what you want. She's ready for all of you guys to pick what you guys want.
Her favorite thing is to, instead of just donating it to Goodwill, she'll give it to my mom, who then, in fact, donates it to Goodwill.
Yeah, she has I get it. She had nothing when she grew up, and she grew up in a time right after, she was born right before the war, and or kind of during it, I should say, right during it. And so, World War II. And so everything that she had meant a lot.
Yeah,
so it's very hard for her to get rid of stuff. And so yes, that's what she does. She brings anything she doesn't like over to the house. Every book she reads, not every book because she keeps a lot of her books, but if she reads a book, she'll bring that over. I have like so many stacks of books.
Yeah, you don't really read.
I don't read like she reads. Like I read.
No, yeah, no.
She reads like 3 books a week at least. She's like always reading. That's her self-care.
For sure. And her dog.
Yeah, her dog. That dog. She loves her dog. That's a big part of that's her whole life right now is taking care of the dog. So, but she loves doing it. So it's something that although she came over yesterday or 2 days ago and she was like, I hate dogs. I'm like, no, you don't.
Why did she say that?
Oh, because I think my dogs try to jump on her. And so she's like, I hate dogs. I'm like, you don't hate dogs. Yeah, she's silly. She's very silly. Okay, talk to me more. What are we going to do? You got your routines. You're going to start a new routine. You're going to start a new habit.
I don't know.
What do you think your friends do? Do they all struggle with the same thing, or do they have like self-care routines? Do they have
I think we all just struggle because like that's what the norm.
But why do you have to do the norm?
Girl, I don't know. You remember being 21? Like
I definitely didn't do the norm. I got married.
Right? Oh, that wasn't normal back then?
I don't know of anyone else. I mean, actually, our friends Robert and Denise got married at the same time, but I think she was a little bit older than me. So, but yeah, no, it.
Well, that would definitely not be the norm now.
No, people don't even like to date. I mean, you're dating, but people don't even like to date. You know what's a crazy statistics your sister told me yesterday?
What?
It's like 40% of adults sleep with a stuffed animal. 40%.
Was this like in an argument or just like a random fact she told you?
No, it was just a random fact because, she's really good at the random facts. And I was like, and it's like.
I have a stuffed animal.
A huge amount of the people sleeping with stuffed animals are men. I thought that was so interesting.
Huh.
I feel like I need to look it up and really like confirm it.
Yeah, I don't know if I know any men with, but that's an interesting fact. Wait, let me look.
Yeah, because, and they said that it's like almost, I don't want to say it's like having a person. It's like it gives you this comfortable feeling, right? That you have something like to snuggle with or lay on or whatever it is. It was like, I thought it was kind of interesting to have that as an adult. I don't have a stuffed animal on my bed. Not that I'd be opposed to it, but it's like when she told me that, I was like, oh, I think it's weird.
40% overall admit they still share. Still, they have it. That's funny.
Yeah. So this is why we should, do what we want to do, right? Not worry about what anybody else is thinking. If 40% of adults are sleeping with a stuffed animal, I think we're good in whatever we want to do. It's not judging. It's just saying that.
I mean, yeah. Oh,
yeah, there we go.
It's hard. It's just hard. Like what? It's just hard. My answer is it's hard.
Everything is hard.
Yeah, well, duh.
Sleep is hard. That's like the hardest thing for me, sleep. Writing is hard. Self-care is hard. But you gotta do it.
I know.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
You still haven't bought me my calendar, by the way. So
Oh,
I still
guess
have
what?
none of those.
I ordered it today and it's coming tomorrow and I'm sure you're going to be gone, right?
Yeah.
But it'll be here waiting for you when you get back.
Wow, Mom.
Not
Thanks.
here, there. I finally remembered. I was like, the calendar. We need the calendar.
Yeah, and I finally did my Amazon returns. Proud of myself.
See? Checking things off a list.
I
That is
know.
real. I have to say, like, for me, that is one of my favorite self-care things, which sounds so weird, but I just I love paper lists. I don't like having it on my phone because it's you get to delete it, but it's not so exciting. It's like
Yeah.
when I can cross through things and then when I'm done and I can throw the whole piece of paper away, whew, I feel like I really accomplished something.
Yeah.
I know that sounds ridiculous, but
I mean, I like to delete things off my list. I can't have a paper list. I would just lose it.
I told you the life hack is you put it in pink paper. Then it doesn't,
No, things just disappear. I have a little elf, I swear.
you have a little elf. Actually, do you guys use paper at all for school anymore?
I buy notebooks because I like to write in notebooks, but like we don't print.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. The two of the essays that Ari has to do, he has to turn it in, but he also has to physically turn in a hard copy. And it's gonna be double spaced, Times New Roman. I was like, oh, it's like I'm back in college again. This is weird.
What do you mean? Of course, you has to be an MLA.
Well, I didn't know the whole idea that he had to print it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends. Like a lot of schools have the commitment to the environment. I don't know why I'm just gonna accenting my words weird. So like in that, I don't think I've ever actually had to print out an essay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had. I don't know if mine's like a COVID though, because I took a lot of those intro level classes online. So obviously I couldn't print out the essay.
Yeah, I guess so. But I thought that maybe the teacher just likes to read them on paper.
Yeah, I think it's some teachers, some definitely like the hard copies more.
Okay, so you can't use a paper checklist. So it
I
was a
need a
good
notebook.
thought.
I need to buy myself an agenda, actually. I've been thinking about that recently.
Really?
Yeah. I
Like to
I don't
put
know, I
your
think
calendar stuff in or just to put like writing
just
down
to
what you
like
have to do?
write stuff down
Hmm.
and like keep it with a calendar.
So I have to tell you, I really love my calendar on my phone. And if it's not on there, like I goofed.
I know you like your calendar on your phone. You're obsessed with it.
Yeah, I goofed for a speaking engagement in May. Luckily, it's working out, but I have to pick up Ari from school on May 3rd or drive back with him on May 3rd or whatever. And I had committed to speak on May 2nd somewhere. So that's not going to work. And then I had another thing on May 2nd. So I emailed the woman and asked if there was another date she gave me. I was like, is there any chance we can go to that date because I have to pick up my son from college? And she was like, yes, that will work for our community. I was like, oh, woo. So those are the things that stress me out. That stressed me out big time yesterday. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, take a breath. Take a breath. Stop stressing about this. Everything is fixable. Most things are fixable. Well, everything is fixable one way or the other, right? It either,
For sure. Everything is fixable. I
yeah,
completely agree. That I think is definitely something I live my life by, and that everything will eventually get done.
yeah. Even when I make my list, like I can look back at it and say, even if I don't want to say I misplaced it because I really don't ever misplace it, but I just didn't check something off for a couple of days. And then I go in there, I'm like, oh, I got it all done. It's done. So,
So you
and
slay.
it always, yeah, I slay. Absolutely. It always gets done eventually. That's what tomorrow's
Yeah,
for.
that's a
It's
good
always
way of
how I
thinking
look at it.
about it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
for sure.
Some days it's just hard because you don't accomplish as much as you want, and then you're hard on yourself. You know, it's kind of hard being an adult.
It is. And
It
the
kind of
idea of
sucks at
getting to stay
sometimes.
in 3 more years of school that you don't have to fully commit to being an adult yet. Because
I mean,
once you
yeah,
fully commit and you got to do your own taxes and you got to, I mean, we still do all this stuff for you. You've got to get your own health care. there's all these things that you have to commit to that seem like overwhelming. So you get 3 more years to kind of ease into it.
How exciting.
Yeah. If you look at it that way, it really is exciting. I didn't do Freaky Florida today.
I mean, I didn't do mine either.
Okay. So we're good on that for today. But yeah, so I want to remind everyone, if you're enjoying our podcast, to like and share, leave feedback, leave a comment. We would really appreciate it. And also, if you want to download the PDFs of the positive affirmations, go to the show notes.
And I will be. I'll be downloading it.
Yeah, you'll be downloading it. Except for if you want simple ones, it's really the 5 I ams for it's all about for confidence, right? So you just pick an I am statement, and it actually doesn't even have to be something that you're doing right now. So a lot of people will use it to manifest. So I had a friend tell me that she uses it and she'll say, I am an author. She hasn't written a book yet, but it's like a way to keep her motivated and looking forward to that part of her journey.
I like that.
Yeah. Manifest, baby, manifest.
Okay. I'll let you know how it goes.
Perfect. I hope you have a great trip.
Thanks. I hope I do too.
You're lucky.
I know. I'm busy though.
Yeah, we got to go through all the work that I need you to do before you go.
Yeah.
Not to stress you out.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you. I hope you have a great day. And then next week we'll be back and we'll have your calendar. So
I know. How exciting.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, I hope they still make it. And I was like, oh, yes, they do. 2024 right there.
Well, I just have to rip a couple pages off before we can jump in.
You got to read through them all and save any good ones.
Okay. I'll do a highlight reel for next week.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay. We'll talk to you guys soon.
On the next one.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us on the Daughter Dearest podcast.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Daughter Dearest Podcast with Simone and Olivia Knego. We hope this episode has made your day just a little bit brighter and given you the inspiration you need to confidently go about your week. Always remember to be authentically you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to connect with them on Instagram at Daughter Dearest Podcast, at Simone Knego, and at Olivia Knego. Till next time.